Hello there folks, and welcome back to the Chap's Guide. Now today you join me in the glorious sunshine of a June summer day in England. So thanks for joining me. And today I'm going to talk to you about my everyday carry. Now I enjoy watching EDC videos on YouTube and learning what other people carry with them. So today I thought I'd share with you the items which over the years I've graced my pockets with and have worked for me. Now, generally speaking, I'm a fan of being as minimalist as possible. I like to carry small items, practical items. I don't like to carry big bulky things which will make the drape of my clothing sort of bulge or drag my pockets down. So I tend to be quite minimalist, and that'll probably be reflected in some of the things I talk about here today. But let's crack straight on with it, and I'll show you what I've got. Well, first of all, an item which is often overlooked on EDC videos that I watch, and it's the simplest thing of all, and that's the pocket handkerchief. Now, it'll be a dark day when you catch me not carrying a pocket handkerchief. In fact, I normally carry two, and I subscribe to the old adage, one for showing in the pocket square, and one for blowing your nose in the pocket. So that's kind of how I run. Always got the old handkerchief for those occasions where, well, let's be honest, you need to blow your nose, or you need to offer your handkerchief to a lady in distress. You know, it's always there. I tend to carry white cotton handkerchiefs, easy to launder, easy to iron, always in the pocket, and an ever-present item in any clothing that I'm wearing. And normally when I put a pair of trousers on or a pair of shorts I haven't worn for a year, slip the hand in and I'll find there's still a handkerchief there from last year. So I've probably got 50 handkerchiefs been given as gifts over the years, but they are just so practical, so useful, and always nearby. So moving on from that, and particularly appropriate on a day like today, sunglasses. Now, I'm a very classical sort of guy. I like to consider myself sort of timeless, and as a result, I tend to go for older, more classical sunglasses. This is a pair of Ray-Ban Clubmasters, and I think they tend to fit most facial shapes. The colours are not, offensive in any way. They don't clash with anything, being the tortoise shell, faux tortoise shell appearance. And I just really do enjoy the Ray-Ban range. I don't wear prescription, so I can wear any sort of sunglasses, and I do often wear other ones in the car. I tend to have cheaper ones. But for my day-to-day walking around, or where I'm going to meet people and I'm out on a day like today, I will go for the Clubmasters, because I know they're going to fit whatever I'm wearing, and they're going to look good in any situation. And they're not crushingly expensive. They are a little bit more than you might pay for a pair of Foster Grants or something, but truth is they're going to last years and years. So don't mind spending the money on these, because they just keep working for you. To things that I also carry in my pockets, and I've got my wallet here. Now this is an area that I am tragically remiss when it comes to carrying quality products. I love leather, and I love leather products, quality leather products, and in this regard I let you down, because I carry a crappy just black fold-over wallet. In fact, I carry it because of my day job. I've got my badge in there from my day job, and my ID, and I've just, over the years, through laziness, taken to carrying this in my back pocket day to day, and in there I've got my driving license, my credit cards, cash, and all those other things, like your Costco card, all those things you need to carry. But I have made a pact with myself that later this year, when I hand the badge in fact, moving on to the next phase of one's life, I am going to treat myself to a decent wallet. Now, at the moment, I've got my eye on, Aspinall's, the good quality British leather manufacturers in London. I went to their boutique a few months ago and was highly impressed with some of their wallet offerings, but I'm still in the sort of scoping the market out phase. If you know of a wallet which would suit somebody who doesn't want to spend a fortune, but wants something of good quality, preferably made of leather, which is not too chunky, please let me know in the comments section below. I would be delighted to take your recommendation. So moving on from the wallet, but staying in the theme of what you keep in your pocket, I'm going to talk about pens. Now, I'm 50 years of age. I was born in 1970, so I'm a bit of an analog guy. So I remember when computers came in, and before computers, some of you chaps out there might find it hard to believe, we actually wrote things on paper. And for me, that is still something I enjoy doing, and I enjoy doing it with a decent pen. Now for me, if you've watched this video, my videos in the past, you'll know that I'm not a man who's a slave to brands, and not a slave to fashion either. And I tend to go for function over form, certainly function over style. And when it comes to a pen, I'm definitely in that sort of category. And rather than automatically gravitate towards things like Mont Blanc and Waterman, the more expensive pen brands, over the years, trial and error, I have found the pens which suit my writing style the best are good old Lamy pens. German manufacturer, Lamy, been around since 1930 in Heidelberg in Germany, and they make really good quality precision writing instruments at a modest price. And I have two here on the table. I have a rollerball and a fountain pen. Now ordinarily I carry these in a little leather pen case in my briefcase. I've got my briefcase here, hence I've got everything I carry with me here. And these pens just do the trick for me. The fountain pen I find is a smooth, effortless writer when I'm writing something which, you know, I've got time to write and take my time to do over. And then the rollerball option, more of a jotter, so if I'm taking notes at a meeting or something like that, it's ideal in that sort of situation. And this is the Safari range of pens in, as you can see, electric blue colour. I love them. They just ergonomically fit my hand perfectly. I churn out great script when I write with these pens. My handwriting is, you know, improved by using a good pen, so, you know, without a doubt, very pleased to use those. Now, what do I write in with that pen? Well, I do like a notebook, and as you can see, this is slightly not a pocket-sized notebook I've got here, but this is a moleskin, and this is from the professional range, the extra large. And I use this notebook because, you know, I don't like small little notebook. I wouldn't carry one in my pocket anyway because they're too bulky. So I carry my notebook in my messenger bag or briefcase, and so I've gone for the larger size because it makes for easier writing and better quality writing. And in this book, I have a couple of these books. I use one for my sort of voluntary activities where I'm at trustee meetings, things like that, and I jot notes down at those meetings. And this one here is one which I've reserved exclusively for my YouTube activities. So I look through here and I see, you know, themes of videos that I'm planning in the future, some that have gone in the past, ideas that I jot down as I go along. You know, it's got little post-it notes in there as I have new ideas and things like that. And it's just something, and it's good quality. You know, it's got a nice soft cover, but resilient and hardy. And the paper itself, you know, the acid test for me when it comes to a notebook, when I write in it with my fountain pen, I don't want to be able to see the ink on the next page along. Otherwise, you know, I'm losing some of the quality. So this Moleskin, you know, Italian brand from Italy, in Milan in Italy, they hit the mark for me, and they produce these great notebooks which just deliver when it comes to capability. So you'll always find one of these, at least one of these in my briefcase, and I use them day to day, you know, all the time, just a really practical item. Now, when it comes to everyday carry, one thing which always features on the videos is the watch that the gentleman likes to carry. And I have 3 watches which I tend to use in the course of my life. One for slightly more dressy occasions, one for the slightly more sporty occasions, and one for, you know, the casual, you know, laid back sort of wearing. But the one which I reach for most of the time is my Rolex Datejust. It's a 36mm watch, and on a Jubilee bracelet with a blue dial. It's one with the fluted white gold bezel, and I choose this watch more than others because it hits more of the things that I do than other things. Although one would say it's a dress watch, and I do wear it as a dress watch, because it's in the Oyster Perpetual case on a metal bracelet, on the Jubilee bracelet in this situation, I know that it's a tough watch. You know, it's bomb-proof, it's water resistant to 100 meters. You know, I can jump in the water, I can take it on holiday and go in the pool with it with no worries at all that it's going to let in any water, damage the mechanism. At the same time, it can look stylish when you're wearing shorts and a t-shirt, or when you're wearing a jacket and tie or a suit. So that's the reason why this tends to be the watch I reach for the most. And you know, it's just a good all-rounder when it comes to practicality of wristwatches. And you know, it's my favourite watch by far. I love the colour. I tend to wear more blue than any other colour, and that blue dial on that watch tends to go with most of the other things I wear. So, you know, that's my favourite. That's why I tend to carry it more than other things. A couple more items. I have to reach into the pocket for the eponymous mobile phone. Of course, everybody has to have one, and I'm not somebody who feels a slave to having the latest kit at all times. Hence, I'm carrying still, in June 2020, this is an iPhone 6S. So it's probably about 5 years old now. In fact, it is coming to the end of its life. I acknowledge that. And later this year, I will, when they come out, get myself a new iPhone 12, I think, will be the next iteration. But I like this 6S. I don't keep it in a holder because I like sleek little things I can slip into my pocket. And the 6S is just ideal for me. It's been a good phone. It's got a decent camera on it still. But that's what I carry. But as it's got older, the battery hasn't lasted so long. It's on its second battery. So to help me cope with that, about a year ago, I started carrying a power bank. And I didn't have one before, but I bought this Energizer power bank, having done some research. I got that one, and actually it cost, I think it was 17 or 18 pounds. And I find that I can charge my iPhone 4 times from empty to full using one charge in that power bank. It's got a button on it which allows you to see whether it's fully charged. But not only that, I've got my briefcase here with me. In my briefcase, I've got my laptop, my MacBook Pro. I've got the cables that connect the MacBook Pro to that Energizer, and actually it allows me to charge the laptop as well from that power bank. And not only that, but I've actually got a little lamp. I often work from home, and I work from a small hut I have in a woods nearby, if you've seen any of my old videos. And that power bank will actually power my lamp for the whole night. LED lamp, of course, doesn't use a great deal of electricity, but practicality wise, can't be beaten. And for the amount of money, I think it's just an awesome purchase. So I think that's everything on the table. And I've told you about everything which I carry day to day, why I carry it. In the summertime, it'll probably change a bit in the winter, because with more pockets and more clothing, you can carry more stuff. But right now, these are the things in the summer which are in my pocket, or certainly not far away. I could have talked about my briefcase, but that's not really an everyday carry, is it? It's a bit more than that. So most of these things will be in my pockets, other than perhaps the notebook and the power bank, which will be in my briefcase, but close at hand. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this video today on my everyday carry. Now I feel that I've joined the YouTube clan by sharing my kit with you as well. If you have enjoyed this video, give me that thumbs up. Let me know you've enjoyed it. Similarly, if you think that there's something I've missed out or I should be looking into, leave me a comment in the comment section below. And while you're there, do me a favor and subscribe. That way you won't miss any of the future material that we put out, typically on men's style, on equipment, kit, and lots of other things as well, which will help you on your journey to being the best chap that you can be. So thank you for joining me today, chaps. I'm going to head off back down to the patio now for a cooling drink and enjoy the rest of this sun. And until the next time, please take care, look after yourselves, and I'll see you back here soon at the Chap's Guide.